If you're like me, you might be feeling a bit sad about the state of The Sims 4, wishing it would either retire in peace or finally get the resurrection the franchise deserves. Maybe you've stopped playing, maybe you're just watching from the sidelines, still curious about what's going on. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what's actually happening with The Sims 4 right now and where things seem to be heading. If you're involved in any way with the community, you'll probably be aware of the fact that EA are giving us another Sims 4 expansion pack, Royalty and Legacy. As of the time I'm making this video, early access reviews are beginning to trickle in, which we'll get into. Last week, as they typically do before a big expansion, EA released an update to the game with some new content. The update updated the existing family tree function for Legacy style players, giving us new relationship labels for in-laws, half-siblings and adopted children. Neglecting the irony of the fact that the update preceding this one completely broke family gameplay for many players by destroying their much loved family photos, this was a massively requested feature and I'm glad that they put it in. The photo bug has now supposedly been fixed, but I have seen some people say they still can't get their photos back, which really sucks. It completely removes all motivation to play and negates all of the hours of gameplay that they've put into their save. You might also be aware of the fact that The Sims 4 is set in an alternate timeline to the previous games. Some think this is a cheap cop-out of the fact that they didn't have enough time to properly set up lore in the first place. It's a known fact that Johnny Zest, a townie in the game, is the disowned son of the Landgrabs. If you didn't know this, I wouldn't be surprised because it might be because it isn't actually reflected in the game. Prior to this update, Johnny Zest wasn't technically related to the Landgrabs in any way, not in the family tree. He didn't even have any relationships with them, which meant you could technically make him marry his own family if you wanted to. Gross. This update finally fixed the in-game lore so it works as it's meant to be. 12 years later, might I add, which is honestly quite shocking for a game that is so renowned for its storytelling and legacy gameplay. It struggles to uphold its own lore. They also gave the Goths, with the exception of Bella for some reason, some ancestors, which is a nice touch. I loved this about previous games. It makes it feel like you're playing an established family with literal skeletons in their closet. I even tried to make a save file in Sims 4 at one point with all of the pre-made lore accurate family. It seems I'd still have to though, as some of the families are still missing lore that they should have. Players are also really excited about the new stairs update EA have given us. We can widen the top or bottom of a staircase symmetrically or asymmetrically, and the big thing, stair rails can now be applied to only one side of a staircase. So that means it's taken away that annoying fact where the staircase or the stair rail would clip into the side of a wall, which looked really ugly. This would be amazing if we had staircases, because since the update, all of the existing staircases in the game are now gone. Deleted by Felicia. How did this happen though, really? I know they cut a lot of their QA team, but how do you miss the feature that you're putting into the game? It doesn't make sense to me. Part of the new expansion pack is African themed, I believe, so they've included a new style called Africana, so it's easier to sort through afro and curly textured hairs using the tag. Personally, I feel like they should have done this sooner and not just as an add-on to the expansion pack. Creator Sim in general could use a bit of an overhaul in my opinion. The way that items columns work always frustrated me and still to this day is a bit of an annoyance. In recent years, the game's also come with some new events which feel very much like battle passes or seasonal style ticket systems from other games. These always felt really out of place to me because this is The Sims, not Fortnite. These typically come with quests to progress along the pass. I jumped in the game the other day just to get some screenshots for a thumbnail and was already bombarded with it giving you quests. It comes with some objects which I think we should have just gotten in the free update regardless. It feels to me that they're trying to make it so you can't avoid the new pack and its promotion. EA know that their player base do have FOMO and I think they've sort of manufactured this sense that you need the packs or you'll be missing out. Some of the items in this pass are even locked to previous expansion packs, which just feels so greedy to me. I don't understand why that's necessary at all. I saw someone say that the introduction message from the Royal as part of the event felt like you're reading those print scam emails, which I honestly thought was so hilarious. It's like even in your own save file you can't escape the promotion.
Hello.
So in terms of the actual expansion pack itself, creators have been given early access to the pack and what I'm seeing is concerning me. The premise of the pack itself is a really fun idea, something that players have wanted for literal years. There's whole gameplay challenges and insanely popular mods that are to do with royalty systems. Before I get onto the actual expansion pack discussion, I do want to give a disclaimer that I have not played the game myself. This is purely my opinion based on what I've seen online so far from official info and other creators who have had early access to the pack. So what the pack is giving us, as the name says, is a royalty system. You can create your own dynasties, there's a scandal system which affects your royal reputation from secret children and forbidden loves, a sword fighting skill with actual duels, and a secret island you can visit. There are quite a few new systems which fit the theme really nicely. At face value, that all sounds really exciting and cool. The premise of this whole pack and update is do it for the plot. It sounds like a cool experience. But as we unfortunately know by now, in actuality it doesn't always function that way. EA are very good at marketing and promoting and making things look amazing. But really, the royal decrees feel like the neighbourhood action plans from Eco Lifestyle repackaged. They're kind of like laws that you can put in place in your game that make certain things a law. The royalty system potentially being blocked by rivals feels like that work rivalry system from Get Together. A lot of the furniture items look extremely similar to items we already have in the game. The pack only comes with one aspiration and no new traits. Yes, 0 new traits in an expansion pack. We've got more food stalls, which again are not a new feature, we've had them many times before. Some people have said that the tiaras glitch through hairstyles, and I know it must be difficult to go back and edit every single hairstyle so that the tiaras fit through them, but this is a symptom of the entire game's issue. There is just so much content piled on with seemingly little thought about how it will all fit in together, so these kind of issues just keep cropping up. A lot of these things appear to again just be click-through menus telling us what's happening rather than showing us, and that's one of my main problems with the game as a whole. I've seen some creators say that the court system's answers you choose don't have any real long-term impact, and I personally don't think that this is justification for a £35 price tag or $40 US. The expansion packs seem to get smaller each time. Alongside this pack, they're also putting out 2 new kits. Could they not have just included this content in the expansion pack? It feels like another case of them chopping up content and putting it all into separate pieces of things that they can sell to us. The new pack gives us a very beautiful world, I will say that. I think the map looks stunning, as a lot of the Sims 4 worlds do, but once again, it's like 80% set dressing illusion. Activities are rabbit holes such as the sword fighting as mentioned above, just like the horse events in Horse Ranch. It's just such a shame because imagine how immersive the worlds would be if we could properly interact with them. The team do have some really cool ideas which, if they really implemented fully, would probably give us a really fun game. But this is the problem with The Sims 4. It was never built for that in the first place. It can really only handle light simulation, so they should stop with the illusion of an interactive world because it's just not reality. There's a lot type called backroom lots, which are supposed to be one type of lot during the day and another at night time. Again, it just reminds me of the workshops in Eco Living and the high school in high school years, but some creators even say that the backrooms just aren't even working properly, that they're not even being treated like the lots that they're supposed to be by Sims. Saying that, as always, the builds do look really awesome. They're made by creators in the community, not EA, which I've always thought is a good way to integrate the community into the game. However, why can't they just do this with other parts of the game and not just this? Part of me thinks it's a way of just saving resources by outsourcing to creators instead. We know that EA has never had the best track record when it comes to building their own lots. So overall, I think the Royalty and Legacy pack really sums up where The Sims is right now. There are interesting ideas and you can see the potential, but so much of it just feels shallow, recycled or unfinished. It gives the appearance of depth without always delivering it. Sure, I think some people will enjoy the pack, but I don't think we should be praising this when we all know it could just be so much better, but it isn't, purely because of EA's practices. I won't be buying this pack as I stopped buying packs about 2 years ago because I just don't agree with how EA are treating the game and its players. But I'll be following along with the news and trying to understand what's going on. I don't think the developers themselves don't care, but the direction of the game feels increasingly commercialised, and what should feel creative and immersive often ends up feeling just like a product first. More and more it feels like packs are designed to create excitement and FOMO, rather than truly expand the game. And I think people are starting to notice that, and it does feel like the tide is starting to turn. I just hope that enough people will realise it. I said this in a recent video, but I don't think Sims 4 needs a Sims killer. It needs healthy competition to push it to be better. I think we need a new fresh game so that EA can properly execute these ideas rather than releasing them as shallow half-baked features. It's just up to EA really if they want to see that. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you guys think, as I'm always open to hearing different viewpoints. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day whatever you're up to, hopefully live simming, and I'll see you in the next one.